Hi there, Rihanna with Venture Soul Creates. Oh, kicked my tripod. And I'm going to show you guys today how to tie up a random sinew line shirt. So a lot of you have probably seen the shirt that I posted on my Instagram and Facebook and in some of the dye groups around here. Or on some of the dye groups on Facebook, I should say. That was my dad's birthday present. Yeah, sorry, my brain. My husband really liked it, and so he wanted one like it. And then I decided to make my son one too, because I had a bunch of blanks in his size as well. So I'm going to show you tying up the little one, because it's going to take the least amount of time. It's going to be, like I said, the random sinew lines. The shirt is turned inside out. It has been pre-soaked and spun out, but not soaked with soda ash, because I don't pre-soak in soda ash unless there's a reason that I need to. And with this, I don't need to. So it's been soaked in water and spun out, so it's lightly damp right now. I find it's better to tie when damp, and then let the garment dry before I apply the dye. But for some reason, when you tie when it's damp, you seem to get better color penetration and also better sinew definition. That's been my experience anyways. I don't know why, but anyways, here we go. Alright, and then so a couple of notes that I forgot to mention at the beginning. If you saw me pulling on these in-between spots, there are two reasons for that. One, because if you hear the growling sounds in the background, that is my toddler pretending to be a dinosaur. But one reason that I'm doing that is because if you have these lines here too tight, then they'll leave undesirable marks on your shirt in between your sinew lines. The other reason is this particular sinew that I have really, really sucks. I got it on Amazon several years ago, probably at least 2 years ago, if not more, and I didn't know what I was buying. I've learned my lesson, but I wanted to use it up. I'm almost out of it over here on my sinew caddy. I can start to see the cardboard through the sinew, so I'm glad I'm finally using it up, because I didn't want to let it go to waste. But yeah, it's not great. It doesn't catch on itself very well, so if I don't pull from both sides, sometimes it'll slip out and it'll over tighten on this part, but not tighten enough on the actual sinew lines. You probably also noticed that I did a lot of wraps on each section. That's for the same reason, because the sinew is not very good. So I have to do kind of an excessive number of wraps in order to get the line definition that I'm looking for. So my advice there, and the reason that I'm pointing it out, is because a lot of other dyers have links in their descriptions for what kind of sinew to buy. I would heed that if I were you. If you've never bought sinew before and you are looking to buy some, do not just go onto Amazon or Etsy and buy whatever seems like a good price or comes in a color that you like or whatever. Take the advice from the experienced dyers and buy something more quality. I can't remember the name of the good one, but I have bought that before as well. I'm out of the good one, so I'm using this one up. I know one of the good ones is Tandy's, but there's another one and I can't remember. And this one that I have, it's this. It doesn't have the name on it, but it looks really, really similar to a better one that a lot of dyers use. And so when I bought this several years ago, I didn't realize that they had these things listed down in the description box. I was just watching YouTube on my phone, and oftentimes I was watching it without the sound on. So I didn't realize that there was that recommendation there. And I just bought something that looked similar. And yeah, I'm just here to tell you, don't spring for the better thing. It'll save you a lot of time and a lot of headache, and you won't be stuck with something that you feel like you need to use up or you wasted money. And unfortunately, I didn't realize that this was crap until it was too late to return it. So that's my bit of advice here today. And so yeah, this is my son's shirt. It is a size 2-3T Hanes 100% cotton shirt. The other one right here I have is a large Goodfellow brand from Target. Also 100% cotton. These are great if you want something that's long but kind of slim. A lot of other shirts, when you go up into like large and extra large, they get wider rather than longer. And at least for my husband, that's not something that he wants. So I buy these for him because they're longer and a little bit slimmer for a large. Anyways, I'm going to tie this one up off camera, and I will see you back for the dyeing. Alright, we are back to add the dye. So I'm just going to arrange these, I guess just like this. I'll just yeah, they kind of nest right in there together. They can kind of snuggle up. My spoon is a little dirty, so I'm going to rinse it off. And just like on the one that I made for my dad, we are using Foggy Lake and tea leaves. Foggy Lake is a color from Happy Cat tie-dye. I don't know if currently Happy Cat is shipping. I've heard that she might be on a hiatus, which I wouldn't blame her, because she kind of got a lot of orders for a one person to fill. Anyways, I am putting the Foggy Lake fairly generously on the sinew lines, and some not on the sinew lines on accident. Hope I'm not getting too much of myself in the shot here. Oh no, I'm not. Okay, good. Because I am a mess. Okay, so there's the foggy lake. And now I'm gonna take my dry soda ash and I'm gonna add that on. When you add, or at least for me, when I add dry soda ash instead of soaking, I add quite a lot. So, I mean, I think that someone could rightly argue that you would use less soda ash soaking. I don't tie-dye that much these days. When I used to do it before, I would often be doing like several shirts or onesies or pieces of fabric at a time. And so soaking it made more sense. But these days I usually only do a couple of things at a time. And I find it to be much more of a hassle. Sorry, I missed a sinew line there. I find it to be much more of a hassle to pre-soak than to just add it this way. So that's why I do it this way. And just go back in there and fill that out. Okay. When my spoon looks dirty, it's stained. Wait, I'm not adding that yet. Okay, so we put the foggy lake on the sinew lines. Then we added our soda ash. Get the soda ash out of the way now. Get my bag of ice. I made this in my ice maker. I honestly can't think of what kind of ice maker it is that I have at the moment. It was a hand-me-down from my sister, so I didn't choose it. So it's hard for me to remember the brand, but whatever it is, it works great. It makes these adorable little like cylindrical nuggets of ice, which I just love. They melt nice and quickly. Also makes ice pretty quickly, and as it melts it just recollects the water and makes more ice. So it doesn't have that problem that some of them do where it starts to melt and you just end up with a puddle of water because it just drips back down into the reservoir and makes more ice. Okay. Okay. Okay, And then dry my hands off a little bit. Dry my scoop out because my scoop got some ice in it. Okay. And now we're going to add our tea leaves over the top. And again, I'm going to be quite generous with this. This is a pretty thick fold, and I'm not planning on flipping it. I will probably add more ice, possibly more soda ash, but I'm not going to flip the shirts. There's 2 in there. I'm getting a little low on my tea leaves, so I'm going to be generous. But I also need to watch it because I have another project that I need this color for. Can't use it all. Oh, and tea leaves is a special edition color from Dharma, which you can buy either from their website in large quantities. I think they sell them in, I think they're 5-pound increments. Or you can go to Tie-Dye Supplies Marketplace on Facebook, and there are several people who part out the Dharma special edition dyes, which is how I got that one. Okay, and there it is. Gonna add a little more soda ash to the top, and then I'm just gonna let it. Here are our finished shirts. So this little one right here, the one for my son. Now this one turned out to be actually 50% cotton and 50% poly. I thought it was 100% cotton that I pulled out of his closet, but I guess I didn't grab the shirt that I thought I grabbed. That being said, for this being 50% poly, I think it still came out really, really nice looking. Let's see. Oops, sorry. Can kind of zoom in here. You can see some of the detail on it. Yeah, it came out really pretty. He likes it a lot. And then this one underneath is the one that I did for my husband. It's, they're supposed to be matching shirts. And that's, you know, you can kind of see some of the difference that you get with something that is 50% polyester versus something that's 100% cotton. This one for my husband has a lot more going on. You can see. This one, I love the color splits that I got in this. I made a very similar shirt for my dad that I'm sure a lot of you saw me post on Facebook or Instagram, depending on where you follow me. And interestingly, this was the same process. Both shirts were, oh, I got some stuff on this. I had a bunch of wool on my table right before this, and I've got a little bit of vegetable matter lingering about, it seems. But so the one that I dyed for my dad, many of you saw that on Instagram or Facebook. I didn't do a video for that one. Well, actually I did do a video for that one, but I forgot to hit record on part of it. which is kind of apparently a signature move of mine. But my dad's came out a lot more gray and green. Jonathan's came out a lot more orange and purple and green, even though I used the exact same method and the same colors. The only real difference was that my dad's sorry, I'm playing with the color temperature on my ring light here. My dad's I did outside, and it was a really windy day, and the ice seemed to melt really, really fast. I had to put several rounds of ice on it because it melted so fast that it didn't take a lot of the dye with it. Whereas Jonathan and Adrian's shirts were processed in the garage, and even though it was warmer in the garage than it was outside, it wasn't windy, and the ice melted a lot more slowly. That's the only difference in these shirts between these two and the one that I had made for my dad, which again you can find on my my Instagram or my Facebook, Venture Soul Creates. But yeah, I thought that was really interesting because otherwise Jonathan's shirt and my dad's shirt are exactly the same. You know, obviously there's always going to be differences in the actual tie itself. No two are exactly the same. But color split wise, the only real difference was the temperature and how long it took the ice to melt. So yeah, I would say better saturation with a longer ice melt. My dad's was much less saturated, a lot more washed out. Now that being said, my dad absolutely loves his. I think it came out perfect colors for him. I think that this would have honestly been a little more colorful than what he would typically like, but it worked out nicely. Okay, so that's it. I will see you all in the next video. Have a good one. Happy crafting.